everyone, today in this video I'm going to be checking out the Bissell Featherweight 2-in-1 Cordless Vacuum Cleaner. If you're interested in this vacuum or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Here's a look at its very generic retail box with just a little bit of product information right up there for you. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and see what's inside. Here are all the contents. First up we have our product literature consisting of our user guide and manual as well as a product registration card. Next you'll see our two attachments here, crevice tool and upholstery tool. Then we have our charger. Take a look at that and how it connects to our vacuum. Then we have our multi-surface brush with swivel, Bissell's logo and branding. It even says multi-surface brush on it. Take a look at the side profile, the back side, the other side, and the very bottom. Looking at the bristles on the brush here. If we ever need to remove it, we have our little unlock icon there to twist that to get access for cleaning, maintenance, all of that good stuff. I like the design on top. We kind of got some etched design here on the plastic. Looks nice. And then lastly, you'll see we have the vacuum itself with this folding arm with our buttons and controls. Let's look at this in more detail. So go ahead, just snap it in place to extend the handle out. You'll notice on this unit, we can actually eject this portion to make it a handheld vacuum. Got Bissell's logo and branding. We have our dustbin removal right there. Then you just pull this out to get access to the inside to dump out all the contents, clean and replace the filter as needed. You'll see that side with it removed. Then we just line it back up in reverse order and it snaps right back in place. Got our power button there with an indicator light, Featherweight Cordless. There's our eject to get that out of there. Take a look at it from the side, the bottom, product info, the other side. I like the blue and black color scheme a lot. There's a look at the dustbin from the top. There's a look at the other side. With that removed, you'll see our full body and extension here, what that looks like on the inside with our contacts there for power, our hinge. Here's a look at the very bottom of it with additional product info. And this lever right here on the handle with the Bissell logo and branding right below that, that's going to be so we can then release this. So it snaps in place. We can actually adjust it forward. I'm not really sure what that does because it doesn't lock in, but we can adjust it there or bring it back to move and store. You'll notice two up here, power button and our brush button there with Bissell's logo embedded in there. So very nice, cool mechanism here. Super interesting design. Snap that in though, go from handheld mode to your full cordless vacuum mode. Now let's get everything set up. Set up simple and straightforward because you can start using it right away. Just press that button and you're all set and ready to go in the handheld mode. But I want to show you how to set up with the attachments like the multi-surface brush here. You're going to line it up. It's only going to fit one way. And then just gently press everything in place until you hear that snap and click. And now we have our vacuum successfully set up. And you'll see we're able to start cleaning and take advantage of that cool swivel feature and functionality. What's nice about this vacuum is it is able to snap in place, it locks in, and it supports itself standing upright. That's always great to see. It's definitely a miss when you're buying a vacuum and it's not able to stand upright, especially a cordless vacuum. So it's great to see that they didn't drop the ball there. That's a feature that you don't always get, but you should expect today. If I'm buying a vacuum, that's kind of an essential for me. Now, let's go ahead, since we have it all set up, let's try it out. so we got our first clean finish. Let's look at some real world results here. First thing I want to show you is the multi-surface brush roller. On this style of brush, you tend to find hair and carpet threads and fibers tangled all throughout this. This actually doesn't look that bad, but you will have to maintain this periodically to pull and cut away all the hairs and fibers that it's able to pick up. So you're making sure that you're getting the best cleaning experience possible. Now let's look at the dustbin in this vacuum. I want to remove it so you'll be able to see the inside here, where we have some dust, really fine dust collecting right around there. And now for the dust bin, we even got a pretty big sized chip in there, a lot of pet hair crumbs, food particles, all of that good stuff that you've come to expect. Let's gently pop this open so we don't spill everything. And you'll see when you need to empty this, it's going to be a little bit tedious because you'll have to take this off every time, shake and dump everything out. We're going to dump everything out right here. So there's our large crumbs, pistachio shells. You get the idea there. Some recent snacks. And then we got tons of hair, dirt, and dust collected all around the filter. So we have some fairly small particles in here too. Not as fine as what's coming in right there in the vacuum that I showed you, but not bad for this particular filter. Got some more fine dust collecting up at the side. You'd much rather see it in here than being exhausted out the vacuum, which a filter like this will allow some particles to exhaust back out. But there you go, real world test right here with pet hair and human hair and a ton of other food crumbs and just typical things you'd find around your house. That filter doesn't look bad, that little foam right there, not seeing any buildup yet, which is good. It's time to see how our Bissell vacuum stacks up against the competition. We'll look at a couple of key tech specs and metrics here to see, compared to the average cordless vacuum cleaner, where this vacuum stands. First and foremost, in regards to cost, feel free to tuck this one in the back of your mind as we go through all the other slides to give you that filter to put everything through as we're comparing this to the average. So we're about half the price of the average cordless vacuum cleaner. Next, you'll see battery life. This is measured in minutes. We have a 20-minute battery life with this vacuum compared to the average of 51. So we're half the runtime of a cordless vac for half the price. Next, we have our bin capacity measured in liters. This does have a below average bin capacity of 0.45 liters versus 0.6, but is it that noticeable? Typically for vacuums like this, you'll be making frequent trips to the trash can anyways, so kind of a moot point in my opinion. It maybe would save you half a trip, a full trip, but just depends how often you use it, how dirty your floors are, that sort of thing. Next, we have our rated power. This is measured in watts. This has a 150 watt motor on it compared to the average of 361. So you're starting to see where they're compromising internally on this vacuum to keep that price so competitive. Next, we're looking at our max CFM. This is going to be a good indicator to know how powerful and capable this vacuum cleaner actually is on a day-to-day basis. The higher the better here. That's what you want to see. So we got a score of 18. That's going to be about 8 points below the average of 26. So you would think with that lower max CFM score, we would have a lower deep clean score. And while that does hold true, we're really close to the average here. So we embed coffee grounds in carpet and we vacuum it up and we measure the results. You'll see we got a score of 90 here compared to the average of 94. Again, for the price that we're paying for this vacuum, the performance is definitely there. Next, we'll talk about decibels. The higher this value, the louder your vacuum is. We got a max decibel readout with our max suction power at 84. That's 2 decibels below the average, but to your ears, just in a room vacuuming with an 84 decibel vacuum and an 86 decibel vacuum, you're probably not going to be able to notice any difference. Next, we'll talk about weight. This is measured in pounds. 5.8 pounds is the weight of this vacuum compared to the overall average of 5. It's 0.8 pounds heavier, but again, I think for most of you out there, you're not going to notice that 0.8 pounds. That would probably only add up if you're vacuuming for hours and hours and hours to fatigue your wrist a little bit earlier, but you only got 20 minutes of runtime anyways. So where does that leave us with this Bissell vacuum cleaner? Well, it's time for me to share my final thoughts. Here's what you should know. After using this vacuum cleaner, there's a couple of key features that really make this vacuum stand out. First one is going to be this unique handle. I really like it for a couple of reasons. One is because when you're actually vacuuming, it's super helpful to get under some of those hard to reach areas. The second one though, maybe you can notice it right here, it's going to be better for storage. So nice to have it tucked and out of the way. Second thing is the swivel is great. It's nice that we have this swivel design. A lot of vacuums do have this, but some still don't. So always nice when that is included. Now they definitely missed not giving us LEDs. That's a big bummer here. There are a couple other vacuum cleaners. If you don't care about this handle, but you want LEDs, you'll actually save a couple of bucks and get very similar performance. So with this one, it looks great. It's got some unique features here that really can lend itself to certain environments. I think this vacuum cleaner will excel in a small space. I'm talking dorm rooms, maybe an RV, small house. You can keep it in, you know, your house and use it. I think it really excels too, just having it in a closet nearby if you got to pick up a quick mess here or there. But this isn't going to be the vacuum cleaner for you to vacuum your whole house all the time. Small messes, small spaces, that's where this vacuum's really going to excel.